Hey everybody, my name is Lewis, and this is another episode of Man Bites Film. Today we're going to be reviewing 3 films like always, and we're going to have our feature artists this week. For this week I want to review first Tears of the Sun. This is an Antoine Fuqua film. He did Training Day, Equalizer, Olympus Has Fallen, and this year he's coming out with The Magnificent Seven, which is one of my all-time favorite remakes and original film, The Seven Samurai, one of my favorites. This stars Bruce Willis and Monica Bellucci. Monica Bellucci, as everybody knows, is the main actress from Irreversible, one of my personal favorite films of all time. This revolves around this Navy SEALs team that is forced to go into Nigeria to save this missionary group. Basically, like every war film that's involving SEALs, it goes terribly wrong, and everything falls apart. Bruce Willis is the main guy, and this is a guy that's basically lived his whole life as just a war horse. He goes to war, does his job, goes home, doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything for that matter. So Monica Bellucci hits him on a personal level, saying that he's just a pawn, that he's nobody and all this stuff, and then he kind of realizes that damn, I am cold-blooded now. So he becomes a little less cold-blooded because of this little speech that Monica Bellucci gives to him, and ends up helping her do some of the missionary work and basically save a group of people. And their mission goes through the middle of a forest, being hunted by both sides of the army. It's insane what happens here. The movie is just littered with action sequences, beautiful drama, beautiful cinematography. Antoine Fuqua knows how to make drama work. Equalizer is a perfect example of that. Training Day is a perfect example of that. Those 2 films are so perfect, and that's why I'm looking forward to. It's one of the few films this year that I'm really looking forward to is The Magnificent Seven. And I don't like remakes of classic films like this. I want to watch this film because it looks amazing. Alright? Tears of the Sun proved to me that Antoine Fuqua can do a job more than just Training Day, which was a one-time thing. Equalizer, Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen, it's a cheesy, stupid action movie, but it's shot well, acted well. Same thing with this film. Every single actor in this film does a superb stand-up job. This film, I give a 7 out of 10 on my rating scale, mostly because the storyline just works so well, but it's an action movie and there is a little bit, left to the imagination and kind of paquete, it's like, it's ultra dramatized, and it's a little bit more like unbelievable, in certain parts, and it kind of takes away from the story. In certain parts you're like, yeah, that wouldn't have happened. But okay, you could kind of say, alright, it's a movie, whatever, fine. No big deal. So that's the only reason it doesn't get like a perfect score. I give this a 7 out of 10 because of that factor. So please, that's Tears of the Sun. This one is streaming on Netflix. The other 2 films that I'm going to show you are not streaming on Netflix. But please check out our feature artist that's coming up right now. Hope you enjoy. Alright, guys, so now let's get into the heavy duty part. The bread and butter, you could say, of this episode. I hope you guys like the feature artist, first of all. Second of all, this is a film that has a lot of controversy behind it. The next two films actually have a lot of controversy behind them, and these are only send away. You can't really. They're more recent films, so you can't really check it out on Netflix as of yet. But you can send away for it on Netflix or Amazon. You could pay to rent it. Or check it out at Redbox, actually. Both of these films are still at Redbox. The first film that I want to go into is Eye in the Sky. This is a Gavin Hood film about a drone strike. And it's Helen Mirren, Aaron Paul, and, of course, the late, great Alan Rickman. He does a phenomenal job in this film, like he does in everything. He's a sarcastic British guy. That's what he's known as, and he does a phenomenal job playing that role here in this film. And basically, it's about these group of people in the army, armed services, diplomats, etc., basically high-end government officials of the British government and American military. And this is a joint effort to strike down this group of people, of terrorists, that are basically in... They're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the mission goes a weird way and kind of twists and turns, and they're left with a moral question of whether to strike or not. And Eye in the Sky is about a drone. It's a drone strike, basically, because that's what the Eye in the Sky is. It's a drone that's able to launch rockets or direct an attack for the armies, that whatever army is using them. All right. So basically, it has Aaron Paul and a lady as well inside of a drone attack room, which is basically like a little trailer with an air conditioning in the back. And Aaron Paul's used to trailers at this point in his film career, so I guess this is a little bit less of a stretch for him. And he is able to maneuver the drone strike from there. I don't exactly know why they move it away from the base and he's not with the commanding officer and all that stuff. That's kind of weird in my opinion, but I don't honestly know. But this film does a phenomenal job with actually building the tension that you feel for these characters. It doesn't fall flat like most of the films nowadays. It's actually very interesting the way that you feel for certain people that come out in the film. I don't want to spoil too much. And you feel the emotion that the actors are trying to portray and put you through in this film. And it kind of hits both political sides, even though throughout the film I'm like, just fucking do it already. Come on, do it. Just, why? And you argue with the TV. Both sides will start arguing with the TV. I don't care who you are and what your political aspects are on this. You will be arguing with the TV watching this movie, because it's just that type of movie. And Gavin Hood does a phenomenal job of making you want to argue with your TV, which is actually the point of this, I think. It's a political message. And it's a political message that I want to get into in the next film a lot, is that we've become a culture of PC. And you see it in the politicians in this film. And they portray that very, very well, how PC this culture has become. And honestly, I just want to tell them, fuck off, and just slap some sense into them, because they're freaking retarded and so stupid that they don't see the bigger picture in this. And I'm a person that when I look at something, a scenario like this, and so did a lot of the people in this film, they see the bigger picture. They don't just see the one little aspect that's of the scene. They see the whole scene and what could happen after, the aftermath of your decision. Politicians do not do that nowadays, and that's their biggest flaw. Alright, so Eye in the Sky, I give a 6 out of 10, because the only reason that I give it a 6 out of 10, the story's kind of flawed. It's kind of bland at some points, and it's overly stretched out. I think that this film should have been a lot shorter. It could have been done easily in an hour and 15, hour and 20 minute segment. It didn't need to be done in a 2 hour long film. It really did not. It could have been an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes stretched out. Would have been an hour and 30 minutes. Okay, so that's the only reason I give it a 6 out of 10 on this. Next film that I want to get into. Before I get into it, Hillary Clinton is a lying sack of crap. Donald Trump is a lying sack of crap. Both of these politicians are going to bring this country to the brink of just shit. Okay? If you vote for these two candidates, you will be seeing the consequences of this. We've had 16 years of failed policies already between Bush and Obama. Okay? These are failed policies that are bringing this country this close to shit. Okay? This is a serious matter already, and people are just acting like complete morons. Some people want to go into the communist route. Do you know what the consequences are of communist routes? Look at this. Alright? Then you want to go into the extremist route that the Republicans are going into. This is what happens if you vote for Trump. Alright? These are the different scenarios that you're putting yourself through. These are the different things and consequences that you guys are going to be facing if you elect any of these two morons into office. One's a lying piece of garbage of a person that is just atrociously racist and bigoted, every aspect of it. Actually, that fits both of them pretty damn well, I think. So the other option that you have a bunch of third-party candidates. The only one that has a remote chance of getting elected, in my opinion, is Gary Johnson, part of the Libertarian group, and he is going to be getting my vote this year. And honestly, he's the only candidate that I could even imagine voting for out of these three. And hopefully he'll be able to get onto the debate stage and actually be able to convince every other person that is middle ground like me to vote for him. Now, this next film is a perfect example of why one of the candidates are a complete piece of garbage. Okay? It's called 13 Hours. It's a story of the Benghazi diplomat attack that occurred. This is directed by Michael Bay. Big explosions, big action, like always. This film gets a 9 out of 10 for me because it was spot on. Perfect action, perfect build-up. Little by little, Michael Bay did justice to a film finally again. So this is the Benghazi attack, and the acting lists on this are no names, but they did such a great job on this. I mean, these guys were phenomenal actors. Just, they really stood out. They hit their mark. They're identifiable characters. They're lovable characters. And they're characters that you feel for their storylines while you're watching the film. He develops all these characters so perfectly. So when it actually goes full turnaround to the end of the movie, you feel for what happens for each and every single one of them. Okay? This is what you're going to be expecting for the next 4 to 8 years if you elect Hillary Clinton. This is the type of foreign policies that you're going to be choosing. Failed foreign policies, proven without a shadow of a doubt how she will manage just her foreign policies alone. Imagine how she runs our country. Okay? This is a perfect proof that she's a failed candidate. Okay? She was actually put in charge of this. She gave order after order after order to step down. and stop these people from actually going and attacking. Okay? She could have stopped the attacks and saved these people's lives. She didn't. She told them to stand down. And if it wasn't for them disobeying the order, they would all be dead. Every single one of the people in that embassy. Okay? We might have had the ambassador alive if it wasn't for this stupid lady. Okay? And yes, it's a one example, and it's been taken out of proportion, and etc., 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 and it's been politicized. But it's worth being politicized. It means there's a point in this. So please watch these two films and Tears of the Sun that's streaming on Netflix. I know this is kind of a deep episode and a dark episode, but I had to get these points across when I saw these films, and this is very important for everybody out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please stick around, and we'll do a little lighter episode next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out the website again. This is Man Bites Film. My name is Lewis, and I'll see you guys next week.